the three things that I learned from the car accident that I just had yesterday. So I've been thinking and reflecting a little bit today. And honestly, right before I turned on the video, I was doing some thinking about what it was that I wanted to talk about today. And various ideas popped into my head. And I ultimately decided to go with the three things that I noticed was most important from getting hit by a car yesterday. It was a very shocking experience, as you can say, and it was just a fender bender, right? It's my first fender bender where I wasn't at fault. I hit one car one time. I'm not a reckless driver, I promise, but I did hit a car I think last year or maybe 2 years ago, and ended up getting a different car because of it. But this time, I was the person that got hit, and it it taught me something because I wanted to get the most out of the experience. And the three things that I learned, number one, is that life is short. I know that may sound like an extreme phrase to say for a fender bender, but it could have not been a fender bender. It could have been something very massive, and I could have been in the same state that I was when it happened, because I wasn't expecting the fender bender to happen. I was about to turn. I was at a complete stop and about to turn when this person hit me in the back. And it just made me think, am I doing everything that I can be doing? And would I be satisfied with what I've done if I was to die yesterday? And again, I know it sounds extreme. I know. But when you get put in these situations, it makes you think about that. And I think I talked about my sister yesterday, how she passed away, like 2016, 2017, 2016. I'm curious what she felt about her life. And so death is not a thought that I haven't had about before, about potentially dying early and what that would mean and what that would affect and how I would feel about it. I know I would be dead, so I wouldn't feel much about it. But in the sense of, if I was to look down at myself, let's say in some supernatural way, and reflect on my life, and when it's all said and done, would I say that I gave it my all, that I did everything that I wanted to do? Even if I didn't achieve my goals, did I go after it the way that I wanted to? And not only goals, but just in life. Did I have as much fun as I wanted to have? Did I hang out with the friends that I wanted to hang out with? Did I do the experiences that I wanted to, that I really could have and wanted to do? Or did I put it all on the back burner trying to chase one thing? Or did I not go after the thing as much as I should have or could have? It makes you think about that. It made me think about that. And I think I'm still doing some thinking about that and how I can implement more fun into my life. And I think that I'm going to go to, not even that I think that I'm going to go, because of that thought, I'm going to go to this lake that my aunt told me about last week. I forget what the name is, but it's in my phone. So I am going to go. And I'm just going to spend some time out there. Just because I like nature. I like walking around, and I haven't really done it. I do get steps in every once in a while, but I go to the same places. And there was a time, I think 2 or 3 years ago, where I would go to different places to get steps in, different places that I've never been or places that I thought would be interesting to get the steps in. I literally took the time to do that. And I haven't been doing that because life has been so fast paced, and I felt like I needed to get these things in that I need to get in, as far as these other plans that I have in store with creating videos and doing these auditions and making money to make sure that I can still go after these things and live where I live. But with that being said, it means I was making no time for these other escapades, these other areas in my life that I want to enjoy, that I want to grow. and fun being one of them. And I do view going to the lake as fun. It's a nice little hobby. You get scenery, you get exercise. It's the best of both worlds. So that was the first lesson that I learned, that life is short, and it makes you put things into perspective. Which brings me to my second thing that I learned. And the second thing is that what we focus on is what we really experience. And I know that sounds kind of profound, and maybe I didn't say it in the best of ways, but after I got hit, initial impact was shock, right? Obviously, boom, oh my goodness, what is happening? Ow, my wrist hurts. Ow, my neck is hurting a little bit, right? That's the initial thing. And then I get out of my car, I'm like, what the hell? I'm looking at my bumper. I feel myself getting a little mad. But then something happened where I'm like, well, shit, man, this shit happened, but I'm safe. I'm alive. There's not too much damage. The bumper, the rear bumper was smashed up. It actually ended up falling off today, unfortunately, but it was gonna happen eventually. I could have been really mad and just stewed in that. When the driver got out of the car and we started talking to each other, the guy was incredibly cool. I don't want to say his name because, again, no one's watching this, but I just don't want to say his name. Just set that precedent. But the guy that I was talking to, he was such a kind dude. He was a young cat. I don't know how old he was, but I know he looked very young, very friendly. He was very apologetic. And automatically, because I think I said it earlier in this video, I went back to when I rear-ended someone. I remember the feeling that I had. I was just like, fuck, man. Like, I'm glad this guy's safe, but I just messed up my car. I have things that I have to do with my car. Like, I know that it's not just, oh, this person's in pain. Like, this other person's in pain. It's also what you're going through. And I was just very self-aware of that. Or I guess aware of that, not self-aware. And I could see that he was going through it. And I could see that he was very apologetic. And he had insurance, so that was also very helpful. I don't know if it would have been different had he not had insurance. It's possible. Can't really say. But I like to think that I would still approach it from the perspective of, man, this guy's going through it. We're both safe, and this guy's going through it. I'm going through it. We're in this together. Let's figure out what the next steps are. Right? And yeah, he was incredibly cool. But I focused on the things that were going right. Again, I'm alive. 2, the damage is not that bad. 3, the other driver's okay. 4, this guy has insurance. Great. I have insurance. Great. Not only that, but this is the same day. Yesterday, I found out that I booked a voiceover job that pays pretty good. And I was wondering this whole time, like days before, like, where am I going to get this money from? I have things coming up, bills due. Where is this money going to come up? And that could have been just erased. That whole feeling of, wow, look, this thing came up. This thing that I've been working towards came up, and now I have an opportunity to make more money. I could have just erased that and just focused on, man, my car is messed up. That's another bill. Oh man, this guy hit me. What a dickhead. Oh my goodness. Just angry and rage at the world. But instead of doing that, again, like, we focused on the direction that we wanted to go and the things that we wanted to feel. I wanted to feel grateful. I wanted to feel happy. I wanted to feel sympathetic, or empathetic, I should say. So I guess to really wrap this point up is that we are more in control of our feelings than we think we are, in our mind than we think we are. We don't necessarily have to be slaves to our thoughts or to our emotions. We can control what we focus on. And that was a beautiful lesson. What a beautiful lesson out of a car crash, out of a fender bender. Third point that I realized, and this is going to sound a little morbid. It might, I don't know. But I realized that, so it's going to be a 3A, 3B type thing. One, I realized that life was going to go on. Had I died, life was going to go on. Cars was going to keep driving by. People were still going to go to work. People were still going to have babies. All this, like, nothing was going to stop if I died, right? And I thought about that today whenever I was thinking like, oh, I don't really need to do anything today. I just got hit by a car. I could just hang out and veg out today. Then again, I thought like, well, dude, you got bills to pay, brother. Life doesn't stop because something happened to you. That's not the way life works. Life continues, right? So that was 3A. 3B, which is there are people that care about you. That's what I found, that the people that care about me really showed up last night when I crashed, and I saw my mom get incredibly stressed, and that affected me so much when I saw like how worried she was about me. And again, it was just a fender bender. But again, my mom lost a daughter to a car crash, so I'm assuming her mind jumped to the worst. Even after we told her it was a fender bender, she just took it so heavily. And I remember shedding some tears last night because my mom came in, because I ended up staying with my mom just in case I had a concussion. My sister recommended to sleep over at my mom's place. That's why I filmed that video at yesterday. And my mom came in to the room that I was staying at her house, and I just remember she was like, sorry, I just have to give you a hug. And she gave me a hug, and I could feel her body shaking, and she hugged so tight, and I could hear her crying, and it made me emotional. It made me so emotional. And I was like, man, I really love this woman. I care so deeply for her that I felt bad that I was involved in something that made her feel that way. And then going back to the second point, it's like, how can we reframe that to make it more empowering, right? I am so blessed to have someone that cares this much about me, alive and around me and willing to express that. Isn't that beautiful? So I think it just revamped my why it is that I'm going hard and what it is that I want. And it's not just for me, it's for these people that I care this much about. I want to put my mom into a position where she doesn't have to worry about money anymore, to where she doesn't have to worry about her health anymore. Like she doesn't have to just run around and constantly be stressed all the time. I want to be able to alleviate that for her. So it really reinforced my why. So I am so grateful that I got rear-ended last night. I am so grateful. And that just goes to perspective. Hope you enjoyed this talk.